The House of Representatives is adjourning a day early.
Speaker Mike Johnson says summer recess will start today, and the reason: to avoid voting on a resolution to release documents related to
Jeffrey Epstein.
Jeffrey Epstein.
You know the name by now. The chamber was originally supposed to be in session until Thursday. Now they're going to hold their last votes today. That's expected around 3:30, and then it's out the door. They are on break for 5 weeks. Hillary, who doesn't like an early vacation?
Who doesn't like 5 weeks?
Apparently, a lot of representatives on the Hill don't. The Speaker's decision has sparked some major backlash on both sides of the aisle.
So the Hill's Drew Petrimoulx joins us in studio to break down what that means for the votes and the people here in the district. Drew, a lot to talk about.
Yeah, you know, this has been a big headache for Speaker Johnson. They had bills they wanted to get accomplished this week. There was a crackdown on illegal immigration. They wanted to roll back some environmental regulations. But every time they brought bills up, Democrats would tack on an amendment that would ask for the release of Jeff Epstein information. Of course, that put Republicans in a difficult position. If they voted against the amendment, they would anger their base voters who think that there's a conspiracy and want more information released. But if they voted for it, that would anger President Trump, who wants to move on from this issue and is now calling it a Democratic hoax. Speaker Johnson thought, you know, it's better to just go back to the district, take August recess, and hope things settle down before they get back.
So I'm just looking at the Hill caption. They're calling it a rebellion over the Jeffrey Epstein stuff, a tricky conundrum for the Speaker. Someone who knows a little bit about being the Speaker of the House is Speaker Emerita Nancy Pelosi. And we have a statement from her about Johnson's decision to say, you know what, let's just break early, let's get on out of here. Here's what she said. For years, Epstein's victims, many of them just children when they were abused, have waited for justice, often in silence and in pain. They deserve answers, they deserve dignity, and they deserve action from their government. Strange to say this, a lot of Republicans agree with Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah, and the interesting thing here is that Speaker Johnson usually has President Trump as kind of his muscle to corral members of the base. But in this case, the base of the party and President Trump are on such opposite sides of this issue that it makes it difficult for Johnson to use him to kind of force the more Riley members of the party to fall in line.
So he has really found himself between a rock and a hard place. It's a tough spot for him to be in, Drew, right?
Yeah, definitely. And there are still kind of this intense pressure coming from the base of the party. They're not giving up. You have some of the more conservative members, Marjorie Taylor Greene from Georgia, saying that this isn't good enough. No more dangling little pieces of meat. We want the whole steak. Online, you have some conservative commentators who say they aren't going to let this go. What Speaker Johnson seems to be counting on is that members will go back to their districts, things will cool off over August, and when they come back in September, they can move on to other issues. But there are already members that are saying that they are going to force a vote on the Epstein documents as soon as they get back from recess.
We got about 15 seconds. Talk about the local impact, what this means for those DC's businesses, bars, restaurants.
Yeah, well, look, they're only missing about 1 day, so it's not a huge impact, but anytime the House leaves, all the staffers that are involved in that, they're going to be missing that a day early. The Senate will still be in session until next Thursday, so you'll have some action around D.C., but surely the House members leaving will leave a void here in Washington that we all feel when they're gone.
All right, Drew
Including
Petrimoulx.
less traffic.
Yeah, that is true. Some positives.
A little
Drew
less.
Petrimoulx, thanks so much for joining us. We
Thank
appreciate
you,
it.
Drew.